My look today is part of what I call my Tokyo chic aesthetic. But this shirt is actually from a Japanese brand. I think it's called Kyogo. I found them on Amazon and I really like it. I like the simplicity. There's like a chicness in my mind to it's like simple, less is more approach. I like that. So guys, I don't think I ever told this story, but I thought about it the other day and I figured I should make a video about this. So signs, right? Gemini, Taurus, Sagittarius. There are people who take this stuff really seriously and they let it inform the kind of people they interact with, right? You see it even on dating apps that you'll have an option to put your sign. I think it's entertaining. I don't take it too seriously. I take it with a grain of salt, but some people really, it has an impact for them. And so the other day I remembered how a year or a year and a half ago, I met this guy, we went out to dinner, and he asked me my sign. And so I got this visceral reaction from him that I tend to get when I tell people I'm a Gemini. Okay, sorry that I'm a Gemini. He was like, oh, okay, Gemini, I see. So of course I was inquisitive about it and I'm like, do you really believe in that? What do you now think is gonna happen because you know that I'm a Gemini? And he said, it's not that Geminis are bad people, it's not that they're two-faced, it's just that they tend to be, what was the word he used? He said something like fickle, like they'll change their minds sort of unexpectedly. So he gave me the example of right now we're having dinner and we're enjoying ourselves, but a week from now, you might totally change your mind and not want to see me again. And that's something that Geminis will do. And the irony is that him vocalizing that, there were other things that turned me off. That wasn't the only thing, but that made me like kind of lose interest because I thought you're gonna base whether somebody's into you or not based on their sign. Like, that's just so ridiculous to me. I have met plenty of non-Geminis who say one thing and mean another. Like, I don't think that's a Gemini thing. It reminds me of how years ago, when I lived in New York City, this is like 5+ years ago, I connected with my dermatologist. Like, there was just something there. And because he was my dermatologist, he felt like it wasn't ethical to like stay, to connect beyond doctor to patient relationship, which is fair, but then I'm like, don't flirt with your patient then. And then a year or so later, randomly, I reached out to him because I saw that his office moved. So I messaged him asking, like, I guess I had his phone number, which is very direct that he had given me his number. But anyway, I had asked him like if his office was in a new neighborhood or whatever. And he responded something like, oh wow, I just thought of you the other day and I pay attention to when the universe sends me signs like this and blah, blah, blah. So similarly to the other guy with the Gemini stuff, it turned me off because again, I was like, chemistry should not be dictated by the signs of the universe. Like, if you're into me, I want you to be into me because of me. I don't want you to have extra interest in me because you think the universe is telling you so, or because we're more compatible in terms of what you know about astrology. So anyway, back to the guy who was kind of like, suspicious because I'm a Gemini. There were other things that I just wasn't feeling about the guy, but it's funny because, he ended the dinner saying like, I hope to see you again, we should hang out. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like I didn't feel comfortable on the spot being like, hey, actually this and this and this and this turned me off. But in my mind, I was like, yeah, I don't know that this works. So for me, it was less about changing my mind and more so about, well, this was a first date. I'm not really that into it, and I know that, but I'm not gonna offend you on the spot. He texted me like a week or so later to hang out, and I said I was busy, which I think I actually was, but I also, again, was not that invested. And to me, that's not a Gemini thing. That's a human thing of, I'm just not that into you. I guess what I'm saying is I don't want to date somebody who lives by these ideas governing their decision making, because to me, it's a slippery slope between that and categorizing people based on like their socioeconomic level, what town they're from, what country they're from, what their race is. And Of course, we all, to an extent, stereotype or categorize. I think it's human nature. But I also feel like the older I get, the more I try my best to see people as individuals and avoid categorization. So just the fact that like his mindset was like that turned me off. If you want to get to know me, I want you to get to know me because of me, not because you think our signs might be compatible or because the universe sent you a signal. Like, there should be a raw chemistry where you want to get to know me because you want to get to know me. Maybe that's too practical of me. I don't know. At the same time, I also feel like there's something actually romantic about me having that mindset, that it's just about chemistry, and forget all the other stuff of like, we're not supposed to connect because of XYZ, because we come from different backgrounds, because our native language is different, because we come from different families. Well, ideally you come from different families. Incest is not festive, but you know what I mean? Family backgrounds and whatever, family structures. What do you guys think about this?